Welcome back. Now, in a move that could significantly boost Namibia's digital connectivity, President Nangolo Mbumba recently met with billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX and Tesla, to explore the possibility of a Starlink establishing a presence in Namibia. Now, Starlink, a satellite internet service provider, is known for its ability to deliver high-speed internet access to remote and unreserved areas. Now, during the meeting held with President Mbumba, who was in the United States, who was chairing the United Nations Summit for the Future discussion, focused on how Starlink could assist Namibia in bridging its digital divide. Now, the Namibian presidency confirmed the discussions in a social media post, emphasizing the country's effort to attract global tech investments. We are now joined by tech analyst in Namibia Job Angula to discuss the potential implications of such an investment with regards to the digital future of Namibia. Good morning, sir, and welcome to Good Morning Namibia.
Good morning, and good morning to the viewers. It's a pleasure to be here on the show with you.
Let's talk about how you think Starlink's satellite internet services could possibly transform Namibia's digital infrastructure, particularly the rural areas where we continue to talk about the issue of digital divide that continues to hamper the ability to, extend services to those rural areas.
Well, I believe Starlink's internet services have the potential to significantly transform Namibia's digital landscape, especially in rural and remote areas. For example, my parents have a really poor connection at their homestead. Data services just don't work unless you climb on a wall or look for a hill. By providing high-speed internet access through a network of low-orbit satellites, Starlink can reach regions that traditional internet service providers find difficult or unprofitable to serve. The reality is that geographically, Namibia is a vast country, and there are areas that just don't have access to the internet. Our terrain is mountainous, and we have a vast desert that stretches along our coastline. Those areas are known as dead zones that can best and affordably be serviced by Starlink. This means that communities previously without reliable internet can gain access to essential online resources, enhancing opportunities in education, healthcare, and commerce.
But surely one could be saying that Namibians so far have done relatively well in order to enhance internet access for those underserved communities. Haven't we done well? Do we really need another player to join this industry?
Well, we've done well, but we can do more. There's still thousands and thousands of Namibians that just don't have access to the internet. There's areas in our country that just don't get cellular or internet reception out there. So I think we should welcome a new player into the market to supplement and coexist with the existing local players.
You think the presence of Starlink in Namibia could contribute to the country's broader digital transformation and economic development?
Yes, Starlink's presence could accelerate Namibia's digital transformation journey by providing much needed infrastructure for a modern digital economy. Internet access is a fundamental building block for digital transformation. Reliable internet access enables businesses to operate more efficiently, reach new markets, and adopt innovative technologies. For the government, it means the potential to offer e-services to citizens. Overall, I think improved connectivity can lead to job creation, attract foreign investment, and stimulate economic growth across various sectors. With the recent discovery of oil off the shore of Namibia and the ongoing green hydrogen projects, which are all taking place in very remote areas, Starlink could enable those companies to utilize the latest Internet of Things or IoT-enabled equipment that make use of real-time monitoring capabilities, all powered by the internet. This could unlock better returns for the investors, and this could be good for the environment as well, for example, in terms of real-time monitoring of emissions and so forth. Reliable internet services play a critical role in fostering economic growth by driving productivity, innovation, and access to new opportunities. So, faster communication. Reliable internet allows businesses to communicate more efficiently, reducing delays and improving the flow of information, promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. Reliable internet enables small businesses and entrepreneurs to reach global markets, creating opportunities for growth and expansion. Education. We all saw how when the pandemic happened in 2020, schools in rural areas were left behind compared to urban schools that could continue via online classes and so forth. So internet access can allow especially schools in rural areas to stay connected and stay on par with their counterparts in urban areas. In terms of trade and commerce, stable internet connection supports the growth of online shopping, creating new markets and sales channels for businesses in Namibia.
However,
economy and freelance economy, right? Reliable internet supports the gig economy by providing access to platforms where people can freelance, create content, offer services online, generating income for individuals. These are novel job creation opportunities that Starlink can accelerate.
Some will probably be asking at what cost, the issues of data privacy and data protection, since this data is not likely to be stored here. What are the assurances Namibians need to be given to ensure that possibly they might not lose out?
I think this is where effective regulation comes in. When asked this question, I always use the example of TikTok. TikTok is a Chinese social media company, which is probably one of the biggest now in the United States, right? But TikTok is not owned by Americans, but through effective regulations, they have ensured that American data is stored and protected in the United States, and it's not prone to unauthorized access in China, for example. So our regulators, the Crown, the government, relevant ministries can play a crucial role here to come in with effective regulation to ensure the sovereignty of our data, to put in regulations that any telecommunications provider should abide to, whether they are locally owned or foreign owned. I don't think ownership should play a role in how we regulate companies operating in Namibia. But if we have effective regulation, that is all that we need to protect the sovereignty and security of our data.
Taking into consideration the issue of TikTok that we know that it's likely to head to the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, with existing telecommunication companies already in place, how do you think the entry of Starlink in Namibia will affect Namibian competition, and also the possibility of us transitioning from Web 4.0 to 5.0? Are we ready as a nation for these drastic changes? Are we ready for artificial intelligence, especially with the transition to Web 5.0? Are we ready for this?
So firstly, in terms of competition in the local market, I think there's a misconception out there because at this stage, Starlink does not offer satellite-to-phone services to consumer, meaning you can't just be walking on the street and your phone is connected to a Starlink internet, right? So the way Starlink works is you need a dish with unobstructed views of the sky, usually placed on your roof or somewhere outside where it is an unobstructed view. The dish connects to the satellite via beams, right? And then that dish is connected to a router in your home that creates a Wi-Fi network. So in the consumer space, I think the market that Starlink could potentially disrupt is only the residential Wi-Fi market. Let's take Windhoek as an example. Windhoek is a mountainous city. And I recall before I left Namibia, there are areas like Ochomwise, Rocky Crest, or Khomasdal that have really, really poor connection just because of the terrain, right? While the mountains may obstruct the ground-based communications, this is where I believe Starlink will come in to offer an alternative to complement existing providers and provide a much-needed service, fast and reliable internet. I believe that the local players should see Starlink as a partner rather than as a competitor, especially when you look into the business service offerings of Starlink and the sheer geographical size of Namibia. Starlink could offer affordable solutions to network connectivity issues. Starlink can enable local players to get rid of dead zones in their networks. And the entry of Starlink into the Namibian market could stimulate healthy competition amongst telecommunication providers. This competition might drive existing companies to improve their services, expand coverage areas, and offer more competitive pricing. For example, as I talk to you right now, I have a 1 gigabit per second internet speed here at my home for a price of 1,036 Namibian dollars per month. That's just unimaginable in Namibia at the moment. To get the speed that I have right now, you probably need to spend, I don't know, 5, 6, 10,000, right? But Starlink is offering, I compared the prices in Zimbabwe, 200 megabits for $50 US, which is about 855. So this is healthy competition that is coming into the market. And consumers could benefit from this. We all know what happens when competition comes into the market. Here in the Netherlands, for example, Starlink exists here, but it hasn't disrupted anything because the local telecommunication providers already provide a good service to the consumers. So it has its niche areas and markets that it's servicing, but it's not disrupting the industry as a whole. In terms of artificial intelligence, the fourth industrial revolution, Starlink is a catalyst to accelerate. It's a foundation to accelerate all of those emerging technologies to be adopted here in Namibia.
Well, before we conclude our conversation this morning, if you had a choice to recommend, do you believe that Starlink's involvement in Namibia could open doors for further technological investments and innovations, especially considering the transitions now that the world is expected to make, especially from Web 4.0 to Web 5.0?
Absolutely. Starlink's involvement could position Namibia as an attractive destination for global tech investment. It signals to other international companies that the country is embracing technological advancement and is open to innovation. This could lead to increased interest from other tech firms, fostering partnerships and encouraging the development of a robust tech ecosystem. All that our government or our regulators need to do is to show that they have good regulations that do not marginalize international companies. And Namibia is a blessed country. Namibia has abundant resources, sun, wind, vast amounts of unutilized land. If you look at other companies that are owned by Mr. Elon Musk, for example, right, Namibia could be a place where they could set up a new star base where they could be launching rockets. Our terrain is similar to what they have there in Texas or Florida, where they launch these rockets, but we have a vast unutilized desert which could be utilized for research as well. Even looking at companies like Starlink, Namibia could be a good place to do their research because we have 365 days of sunshine, unobstructed views with the skies. So it's really a good place for space exploration and all companies that are investing in that area.
Mr. Job Angula, thank you very much for making time to speak to us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Now, that was Job Angula, who's a tech analyst joining us all the way from the Netherlands, discussing about the potential implication of Starlink's investment in Namibia's tech